just can't help it myself. I'm in love with you, and I just can't help it myself. I'm in love. myself. I'm in love with you, and I just can't help it myself. I'm in love.
Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Boris Schlossberg.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Let me go full screen. All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy. I'd like to do a sound check. If you can hear me, see me, say hello, good morning. Give me a thumbs up if everything's coming through. I don't know why I moved my camera resolution will adjust itself. Eventually, it always does. Sometimes this Logitech camera doesn't always work the way it's supposed to. All right. So hopefully the camera will work itself out. Okay, I'm sure it'll adjust itself in a minute. Give me a second. Let me get my little white wipey. Who is ready for non-farm payrolls trading? If you're ready for non-farm payrolls trading, give me a thumbs up. I'm actually going to stop my screen and restart it. All right, I have no idea why my screen is in such a bad resolution. I'm hoping that it will come back soon. Sometimes it just takes the camera a second to update. All right, come on, baby. All right. It is what it is. I'm sure it'll fix itself in a minute. You know what, Boris, if you don't mind, do you want to say hello? Because I need to log out and log back in because my screen is...
Hey, guys. Hey. Man, welcome to the insanity. Good morning, everybody. Kay's gonna come out. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. So we are having fun. Got about 15 minutes to the open. Here's the first thing I'm going to tell you. All the rules that we usually do for trading are going to be completely reversed. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Is this any better? Oh, God. No, never mind. All right. You're going to have to bear with this. lighting because it's really, really bad lighting in oh man, oh, all right, I'm coming in and out. You know what? I'm going to share my screen so you don't have to see me. Hold on a second. Window, share.
All right, wonderful. Okay,
All right.
Boris, let's talk preview first. You want to pull that
No,
back?
I'm just killing time, Kate, because I didn't like.
Right, but the log out, log back in worked really well. That's exactly what I needed to do.
Right.
So yes, good morning, everyone. We are here to live trade non-farm payrolls. And who can you give me a hand up if this is your first time live trading non-farm payrolls with us? Give me a hands up if this is your first time. If you have been through many of these live trading non-farm payrolls, give me a green heart emoji. So hopefully we'll make some money today. So a hands up if this is your first time, green heart emoji if you have done this with us before. All right, Mozad, Peter, Boris, it seems like Nihao is giving us, has been here. So a lot of first timers, which is wonderful. Now, we do very, very well. We have done very, very well. Past performance is not indicative of future results. We've done very, very well trading non-farm payrolls, and it's been very lucrative for us. But today is a little different, right? Today is not just about non-farm payrolls. So typically, non-farm payrolls is the most important event of the week. And the market is laser focused on it, and the outcome of it leads to an immediate reaction that we can trade on. But today we have a bigger story. And that bigger story is, of course, the tariffs and China's response to the tariffs. So whenever we trade, part of the reason why we're so successful is because we take into consideration what the overall market sentiment is, how the market is feeling, what's the vibe in the market, what is the main story in the market. So we're going to try to do that as well, to try to be aligned with what, aligned with the market sentiment, so that will hopefully make our trades work out well. But it is more unusual because it's not like a traditional non-farm payrolls live trading where all we're focusing on is the US data or the Canadian data, and it's an easy trade. Today we've got a lot more going on. Now, also, we don't trade right away. We start off with preparing and planning our trade. We start off by talking about what trades we will put on once the data comes out. So we do a lot of preparation work. So once the number comes out, we're ready to execute our trading plan. So there will be no trades before 8:30, but we'll be developing our trading plan before 8:30. And I think it's an important exercise for all of you to understand, to follow, things like that. And Joe, Joe's asking what pairs we'll be focusing on. I'll be talking about that. And then, I look for Forex opportunities, and then Boris comes in and he looks for gold and indices opportunities. So it's kind of a three-pronged process where number one, we plan our trade. Number two, we execute on the Forex trades. And number three, we then go into our indices and gold trades. So all of that, will be our kind of agenda for the day, our plan for the day. So let me start by sharing with you my screen, because the number one thing to know is, what is expected, right? What does the market expect for today's jobs report? And today's jobs report is not, we don't just have the jobs report from the US. We also have the Canadian jobs report. So this is Forex Factory. And last month we had 151,000 job growth. And now today we are looking at 137,000 job growth. So the market is looking for weaker job growth. And, I think all of us are looking for weaker job growth. The question is, how bad could it be? They're also looking for average hourly earnings to remain unchanged and for the unemployment rate to remain unchanged. Now, if you have been in the markets for some time, you will know, or you may know, that very often these things don't come out unchanged and in line. And that's kind of what makes trading non-farm payrolls so challenging, in the sense that we only trade it what I call reactively, which is after the report, not proactively, because you could have a good number, up here and a bad number down here. I mean, they could be all over the place. And that's why it's much better to wait for the number to come out and then take the trade. But that's not all we have today. I mean, today we also have up here the Canadian jobs report. And so the Canadian dollar will be just as much in play as the US dollar. And over here, you can see the market is looking for job growth to improve. Last month was horrendous. Last month, we only had 1,000 jobs created and 20,000 jobs lost. This month, we're expecting 10,000 jobs created and the unemployment rate to increase. And those 10,000 jobs are mostly expected to be full-time jobs. So stronger data is expected from Canada, but it's also going to be mixed. Once again, it's kind of like the market is going to take a lot of these numbers with a grain of salt, because these numbers for March and the uncertainty for April is a lot greater. And that is why it is important to take sentiment into consideration, because today the market is selling off the Canadian dollar, which means that unless the number is like 40,000 or 50,000 job growth, we may not get much CAD strength from a 10,000 number, for example, even if the unemployment rate improves. Now, whenever we have these important data, I always like to look at what the leading indicators for the jobs report tells us. So this is my leading indicators. This is our community. And if you haven't joined our free community yet, please do so. Boris, if you don't mind sharing the community link. And in the community, we post a lot of great information that may or may not be posted on other social media. But as you can see here, and I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. I have to get my son on the bus at like 8:20 and like 8:20, 8:21. So I'm going to pop out for 2 minutes and come back in when Boris will take over. But this is our non-farm payrolls preview. And with our non-farm payrolls preview, you can see, let you have a wild guess. Do you see more red or do you see more green? Based upon this, do you think the red are the things that deteriorated from last month? The green are the things that have improved since last month. So do you think that there is more red or there's more green? Do you think the jobs report should be stronger or weaker? Let me know. Weaker, put the thumbs down. Let me know if you think it's going to be stronger or weaker, or say up or down. I want to hear your views based upon this, because remember, if you've done this with us when we trade the Federal Reserve rate decision, the RBA rate decision, we had talked about RBA last Monday, and we laid out all the reasons why the Australian economy was doing better and the RBA was going to be less dovish and Aussie would rally. That's what happened. And so right now, we're doing our homework. We're looking at what is expected for the US jobs report. So I'm seeing weaker, red, weaker. Yes, you're absolutely right. There's a whole bunch more reasons to believe that the jobs report is going to be weaker, not stronger. Like, for example, Boris, you're going to run through each one of these with them real quick. I'll be right back. Boris is going to tell you how bad the numbers have been.
Hey guys. Hey. So yeah, I mean, data has been horrid, guys. It's not a surprise. As a matter of fact, yesterday's ISM services, which is considered to be the most important predictor of non-farm payrolls, was really, really low on all fronts, and high on the one thing they didn't want, which is prices filled. So the thing is, though, and Kay is away, so I'll just tell you my view on all of this. I think NFP does not matter at all today. Nobody cares about the NFP. I think we're in a massive market meltdown today. I think NFP will be gone, here and gone in 5 seconds, and we're going to be watching to see if the market is going to be able to recover off of this very, very severe sell-off on tariffs. Today is really the one day where the NFP takes a complete second chance, unless, and this is the one thing that I will say where the NFP could have a big impact, is if it prints negative. Now, nobody's expecting a negative print, but if we have a negative print for whatever reason possible, that's going to be the spike in the heart. You're going to see S&P drop to 5,200, maybe even 5,100. We could go all the way down to 5,000. NAS could easily go to 17,500. On the idea that we're already in a recession, the tariff thing is going to be horrible. The market is just having a massive, massive panic. So my point is, I think we have to look at the NFP precisely in that perspective, which is it can only hurt. I doubt it can really help at all. Okay. So hey, Kay is back. All right. I spent the whole 5 minutes telling him how NFP does not matter at all, that it's all about tariffs, and that the only thing that matters today is if the NFP prints negative, which will be like the ultimate shock to the market and destroy us even worse. So we'll see.
Oh gosh, I ran a marathon, 2 minutes to get my kid on the bus. All right, we did it. Okay, so yes, the numbers all say that numbers should be weaker. And yet, some of the things that we've seen, the jobless claims report have been very, very strong. And so it suggests to me maybe there's some manipulation of the data, but it's really not supposed to be the case. So anyway, we have to brace for an even weaker report than this 137,000. So given that we could be seeing an even weaker report, the 137,000, how are we going to trade? That is the main question that you guys are asking, right? And as Boris pointed out, whenever we trade, we always look at what is going on in the market. What is the sentiment of the day? And, upper right-hand corner, stock futures are down 3%. Clearly risk off. Markets are in risk off mode. They're selling. They're nervous. And in my opinion, I'm sure many of you agree, even a good jobs report isn't going to make anyone feel better, because people are just going to think next month is just going to be even weaker, that they're just basically kicking the can down the road, because we basically have a situation where private and public sector jobs will probably be cut significantly later on in the quarter. So investors are nervous. Markets are in risk off mode. And you can see the upper right-hand corner in my watch list, we are down 3% in the Dow. Now, what's really interesting is that gold is down as well. If we pull up the gold chart, we can see that gold is also pulling back. Isn't gold supposed to rally when investors are nervous? Well, of course, it had rallied already, but clearly investors are moving to cash. They are, just worried about what's going on, and they're moving to cash. And they're piling into U.S. treasuries. And that's why U.S. yields are down so much. Before we talk about the trades that we're going to take, I want to point out one more thing, which is what the reason why we're seeing U.S. yields down so much is because the market is pricing in significant rate cuts by the Federal Reserve this year. I typed in CME Fed Funds Futures. So right now U.S. interest rates are 4.25%, 4.5%. So there's a 50% chance that rates will be cut in May. But there's a 100% chance that rates will be cut by 25 basis points, because right now the highest rate the market expects it at is at 4%. So there's a 100% chance that the Fed is going to cut interest rates in June. And in fact, the market is pricing in 100 basis points. So 4.25, the biggest odds are over here. 3.25, 3.5, 3 to 5%. Almost pretty much 100%. 100 basis points of rate cuts are expected from the Fed. So why is the market expecting such big interest rate cuts? Clearly because they think growth is going to slow. So the question we need to ask ourselves when we see the jobs report is, will this jobs number change what the market thinks in terms of how many interest rate cuts are needed this year? Unless it's like 200,000, I don't think so. I think, and if it's really bad, as Boris said, then it kind of reinforces this. And that odds that at 400 basis points, that was basically 80% or 90%, is going to be 100% of 100 basis point rate cuts. So that is the most important thing to remember when we go into this jobs report in 4 minutes, which is that unless the number is amazingly strong, like 200, 300,000, it's not going to change the fact that people will be nervous and that we are looking at a rate, 100 basis points of rate cuts this year. So what are we trading? Now, this is where we lay out our game plan. Let's talk about the positive dollar story, right? If we have a good number. So we have two options. If we have a good number, we can go out and just buy dollars. But what will we buy dollars in? Look at my upper right-hand corner. The only currency that that looks, fairly good, I think, is dollar CAD, because dollar CAD, let me put up my chart here. Dollar CAD is above the zip indicator line. If you guys are not familiar with zip, I have videos in the free community that shows you how zip works, but dollar CAD is strong today. So if we get a strong US report and we get a weak Canadian dollar report, then I think that we could really get some upside in dollar CAD. Daily chart, we have a bit of moving average resistance at 142.50, which I don't love, but that could be an opportunity.
Kathy, can you do me a favor? Can you click the calendar icon that's right underneath the target icon?
No, we tried to do this last time, and I think it was.
You don't want it to see the numbers. It takes 2 seconds for you to do this. Just do it. You see the target number?
I have to lay out my trades. I have to try the short side.
It's not gonna. All right, fine.
It's too late. Okay, we should have done this in the beginning. So the other currency that is also very, very weak against the dollar is Aussie and Kiwi. So if we have a strong dollar report, what we're going to be looking at selling Aussies, selling Kiwis, selling CAD against it, and of course CAD is contingent upon the CAD data also being weak. If we have a weak dollar report, then, and which is most likely we're going to get, then I think selling dollar Swiss, selling dollar yen, and then, also, maybe that's basically what I'm looking at. The other trade that I kind of like is Euro CAD. If we get a weak CAD report, and we can talk about them more once the data comes out. But we're going to be looking at these opportunities when the number comes out. So Boris, why don't you share? Okay, why don't you scream out the charts? I'm going to put up some of these currency pairs over here. Actually, we're going to turn this into, we're going to see it in the price action before we see it in anything, okay? So we're going to see.
I'll scream out the numbers, but it's
dollar yen, dollar Swiss, dollar CAD, Aussie dollar. Okay.
All right, but it's not gonna. Okay, fine. We got.
And I have Euro CAD.
We got 7 seconds left, so I'm not gonna screw around.
Generally speaking, we do 20-point stop, 20-point target for our day trades. So we'll see what kind of opportunities we get. And I'll let Boris.
I'm not seeing full-time is.
Okay, the number must be weak. So I think 145.
Non-farm payrolls 228 against 117. Okay.
What about the rest of the stuff?
209 private.
So very, very strong numbers. Yeah. So what's the Canadian jobs report? Let's see.
Canadians 29 against 20.
Ooh, ugly CAD. So let's see if we get some dollar CAD. First of all, I really like Euro CAD to the upside. 157.08. 157.08 in Euro CAD, although I'm not sure. It's a little bit spiked out. Dollar CAD, I still think dollar yen's going to fall and dollar Swiss is going to fall, but dollar CAD 41.86. Let's see if we run to the round numbers in this. It does look a little weak, and I don't think dollar yen rally is going to last. So 145.12 I think is a good sell there in dollar yen. Let's see if we get a little bit of downside there, because I'm a little dubious of the numbers, although dollar Swiss, we'll have to see. All right. So 141.86 in here, 147.07. So pretty much 10 points achieved in Euro CAD. We're almost there. There we go. 157.20 in Euro CAD. We're closing that. And dollar yen, let's wait on this. 145.27. We're going to close it, and we're going to get back in later. Okay, so we're long. Oh, we're long dollar yen, dollar CAD at 141.86. We're closing at 141.99. So another 10 points in. We're just getting these quick pips. Another 10 points in dollar CAD. Another 10 points in Euro CAD. And the only trade, so yes, our target was 20 pips, but the markets are crazy today. You could squeeze more out of it. It looks like we could go further, but I'm out at plus 10. I'm waiting to short your dollar yen. Hold on. Let's go to my moving average chart. So whenever I look at my trades, I always look at my zip charts and I look at the moving average charts to see if we have moving average clearance. And I'm just going to go the shorter time frames. It looks like this one could run a little bit more. Let's see if we have any other opportunities here. I'm going to move it down here. Euro isn't doing anything. We're going to go look at the data for 1 second. 228 unemployment rate increases and average hourly earnings growth steady, CAD data ugly. Boris, if you don't mind telling us what the full-time jobs in Canada is.
Yeah, just 1 sec.
Look at this. Look at dollar CAD and Euro CAD run. So even if you went for plus 20, you would have gotten
full-time was negative 62 against negative 19.7. So negative, yeah, ugly.
So very, very bad. So dollar CAD and Euro CAD both worked out. Dollar yen, I still think it could work. Let's see what US yields are doing. US yields are kind of flatlining. We are not in a dollar yen trade right now. Dollar CAD, Euro CAD were the ones that worked. Let's see if there's other opportunities.
So I'll add a wrinkle here. This is a very, very surprising report. Everybody's looking for very negative sentiment. Trump's going to make this like, listen, see what happens. It doesn't matter what the stock market is doing. My tariff policy is working. Small businesses are hiring. U.S. economy is booming. They're all going to come bend their knee to us. That could work. You know, I mean, my point is that the market, as panicky as it was this morning, could rip up in the afternoon if they change the sentiment on this. So do not in any way, shape,
well, I think it's a question is whether investors believe the numbers or whether it's just being kicked can down the road. I'm watching this dollar CAD CAD yen in the upper left-hand corner. Maybe dollar yen itself straight up is not good, but CAD yen is looking pretty good at 102.44. I think we could have some downside opportunity in CAD yen. So let's go short CAD yen 102.44 and see if we get any opportunity there. And we'll come back and talk about all of them in a second. But we'll watch that trade. And I'm pretty sure we don't have any zip signals at all. So euro dollar, we're in the zip buy zone, which means we're above the indicator line and the green is red. Being the background color basically pertains to the longer term trend. And the color that is where it is against the indicator line tells us the shorter term trend. So it shows you that euro is still longer term trend is positive here. Short term trend is positive too. Dollar yen is rallying. The dollar is rallying clearly. US 10-year yields were down, I think 3%. Let's double check. They're starting to move up as well. And so I think Aussie could be affected to the downside, 61.23. Let's see. I'm just flipping through my charts. I don't see anything. We're in this CAD yen trade at 102.44. And just flipping through the charts. I kind of like this Aussie short trade, but we'll return to it in a minute. Let me just finish looking through some of the charts. CAD Swiss also looks good. All right, so let's look at Aussie dollar for a minute. So 61.23, so Aussie dollar, clearly the weakest currency today off of the Chinese tariffs. And I'm just flipping through to see whether or not we have any moving average resistance. And so it doesn't look like we have any moving average resistance. So this one could pull back a little bit more. I'm not touching it because we're in CAD yen and, you know, I think we just missed our 10 pip target. It did go down there, but I was too busy talking to you. But there we go. Another 10 pips in CAD yen. I'm keeping, you know, you can go for 20 pips. I think you'll still go there. So 27, we're short CAD yen. 28, 24 is the 20 pips. But, you know, it's really volatile today. So I would be careful. And then I want to go back and explain why the trades that I took. So we're just giving it a little bit more. 25 was the low on this. All right, we're getting, pretty much 26, 25. It seems like there's a bit of support there. You might as well take your 19 pips here, but I think it's going to hit 20. There we go. 20 pips in CAD yen. So there we go. I mean, we made money in 3 out of 4 trades. We made money in first Euro CAD, and Euro CAD was part of our trading plan. Remember, we wrote this in the Aussie dollar box here. I think it disappeared, but that's fine. Let's go back. We wrote this in the or down earlier where we said we were going to basically go long Euro CAD if we had weak CAD data. And so we did go long Euro CAD, got 10 pips out of this. We also said if we had good US data and weak CAD data. We were going to go long dollar CAD. I took 10 pips. This easily hit the 20 pip target. We did go short dollar yen, and we lost money on that one, which is fine. Not every trade could be the right trade, but we lost 10 pips on this. But, you know, we went back in, we sold CAD yen and made, you know, 10 to 20 pips, depending upon how much juice that you want to get out of it. So 3 out of 4 trades, you know, I consider that a job well done. Let me know if you made some money. Give me a thumbs up or a money emoji. Let me know if you rode the CAD trades with me and you made money. Boris will be looking at gold and indices. I want to explain a little bit more about the trades again, but let me know. I want to see if you're paying attention. Did you make money trading the caddy with me? And I think CAD yen has more juice. Let's see where CAD yen is. I'm not hearing from anyone. Come on, let me know.
They're too busy staring at the screen.
So CAD yen, there is some support at the spike low, which is 101.87. So it could go there. 4-hour chart, you know, nothing going on. 1-hour chart looks like it wants to head down to that low 101.890, let's say. So it could go down there. Now, I'm glad you made money. Great job, guys. Why did we make money? I started the stream off talking about how we have to respect the market sentiment, right? We have to respect the market sentiment. And the most important part, and I'm going to write this here, about respecting market sentiment, that we did. Respect market sentiment. The most important thing that we did was we looked at, what is the weakest and what is the strongest currency. So I said, if the number for the US was going to be good, there was only 2 currencies that was really weak. 3 currencies, but, you know, Aussie and Kiwi pretty much the same. But there were only 2 real currencies that were weak against the dollar. And the currencies that were weak against the dollar was basically the Canadian dollar and the Australian dollar, because they were weak already. It wasn't like the euro, which was flat. It wasn't like the yen, which was up. The 2 currencies that were legitimately weak already was the Canadian dollar and the Australian dollar. And in many ways, both worked. Aussie's now at 61.07, and we were talking about it at 61.23. So what happened was that whatever was weak got even weaker. So the most important thing that I want you to take away from today's session is that when we trade, whether we trade news or we trade on a daily basis, and what I do every day when I trade ZIP is I pair strong with weak. Sounds like a super simple concept, but it is very, very important to pair strong with weak. This is the most important thing that I want you to take away. You want to pair strong with weak. You want to pair weak with strong. So we know that, you know, the Canadian dollar was weak. We know the euro was strong. The euro was like the most resilient. Euro was actually up against the dollar. And that's why I didn't have a chance to explain it pre-trade. But that is why I picked euro CAD as one of the currencies to go long. Now, it didn't have as much continuation as dollar CAD or CAD yen, but it was a safe trade to be in this morning at the onset because it was one of the stronger ones, and we were pairing strong with weak. And we also know one of the strongest was the Japanese yen. We know stock futures were going down a lot. So pairing weak with strong meant basically selling the CAD and buying the yen because we're respecting market sentiment. And that is one of the most important things that I hope you learn from the trading. It's not just about making money. Of course, we all want to make money, but many of you are just watching, right? And if many of you are just watching, you saw how we came up with the trading plan. We executed the trading plan. We did not trade non-farm payrolls in advance because, you know, the leading indicators didn't work out. You know, I'm just skeptical about the truth of the data, but it is what it is. But we created a plan. We talked about picking the currencies based upon which ones were strong versus weak. And then we executed on that. And the main thing that we did right, The main thing that we do right day in and day out with every single non-farm payrolls live trading session, with every single trade that we take, is we pair strong with weak, we pair weak with strong. And that is what I hope you learn. So Rory asked, for the news trades, you took 10 pips. Basically, we do 20-20. Sometimes, I'll get out sooner. 20 is right. 20-20, you got the 20 pips on the dollar CAD, you got the 20 pips on the CAD yen. We are live trading for entertainment purposes as well, so we want to make sure that we grab those pips. So I took it at a closer target, but I did say to you that you could also squeeze it for more. And this is what I talk about every single day in our BK Traders community. So make sure, Boris, if you can pop that up, that you are joining our community, because every day in our daily market views, I have videos, I have different things I talk about. We post some exclusive content. Like when we did April 2nd Liberation Day, we talked a lot about exclusive information. So make sure that you are a part of our community.
Not only that, tell them
the 30-15.
Not only that, tell them that there's 2 absolutely free courses in there.
Yes, he's absolutely right. I was showing you the zip, and I was explaining, briefly on what zip is. But in the Forex starter course, and it's completely free, along with the day trading course, you can learn the strategy, learn, how the trade selections, learn about this moving average clearance that I'm talking about, learn about the different setups for zip. So these are all completely free. And if you want, for very, very affordable price, you can get the indicators and participate in my daily VIP live training, where we go through trades and we talk about strong versus weak and things like that. But, that's the free community. Make sure you join it because there's a lot of really great information there. Now, I have some other questions here about euro. Let's look at the euro. Sure, let's look at the euro. We did not touch the euro this morning. Why did we not touch the euro? We did not touch the euro because, in my opinion, there is a rational reason why the euro is not hit as bad. But there isn't. But Europe isn't doing very well either, because they've been hit by 20% tariffs. Euro is resilient because the EU nations are doing fiscal stimulus to help support the economy, and they're pledging to retaliate, things like that. But I guess the best reason why we didn't touch the euro is that the move did not make as much sense as the Aussie, which was hit hard by China's 34% retaliatory tariffs, and also the Canadian dollar, where the Canadian dollar, we had a very weak jobs report. And then also, if you caught the headlines, or if you saw if you got this, you can see Canada matched the US with auto tariffs. And that is the reason why the Canadian dollar is down. So we had a reason to be short CAD to begin with, and a reason why CAD was going to be weak. So I didn't touch the euro because it didn't have as strong of a fundamental story, Joe or JBC, as some of the other major currencies. Yen, how do you know the yen was going to be stronger? Because yen is a risk-off currency. In the community, under trading resources, there's a risk-on, risk-off cheat sheet here that you all should download. Download this cheat sheet here, which tells you when we are risk-off, meaning that the markets are selling off, which currencies are strong, which currencies are weak. So incredible. This is all completely free as part of our community. So make sure you join the community, you're getting that information. All right. Any more questions for me? I made money, 3 out of 4 winning trades, great trades, not pressing the luck here. Risk off is the mood today. But we may have a little bit of a bounce before we get more risk off. But hopefully you learned my process. We spent a lot of time preparing, planning, laying out our trading plan. And then we explaining my trading plan. And we executed that trading plan when the data came out, so that you can understand the thought process. And really, at the end of the day, the main takeaway is pair strong with weak, pair weak with strong. And that's exactly what we did. Next week, we have the US inflation data. And that's also going to be a very, very important report. So make sure you join us for our Monday live stream, because we're going to be laying out everything in terms of the US inflation report, the tariff fallouts, April 5th and April 9th are the 2 dates when the tariffs are going to be start. So we're going to talk about that. And by Monday, we'll know what happened on April 5th if there's any relief. But bottom line is, the markets are active and there's a lot of opportunity. As you can see here, many people shy away from trading non-farm payrolls. We thrive on it. This is another one in our hat, another really great non-farm payroll session. Not because we're lucky, but because we have a very methodical, well thought out process. And we pair strong with weak, we pair weak with strong, we plan our trades, and we execute our trades. That was what I try to teach you guys how to do every single day. So China announced a retaliatory tariff today. Will that make Aussie strong in the following days? No. Aussie is selling off right now. This is the Aussie zip chart. It's in the sell zone. This is a zip sell signal. If you were bold enough to trade last night ahead of non-farm payrolls, we had a pure zip sell signal that would have told you to sell Aussie. This is a zip buy signal, which is a white candle with a green background. And the zip sell candle is a white candle with a red background. So we had a zip sell signal. Market clearly interprets this as, a trade war, and all of the ancillary countries and everyone around them, everyone's going to be hurt. And Australia is going to be hurt the most because if China slows, the US, the Australians are going to slow as well. What I think it really means is that they think the RBA is going to cut interest rates again soon. But we should have some stabilization in Aussie once, the market kind of digests all the news. Let's go to the monthly chart here. We should have some stabilization, but, unless we have some good news on the other side, I think that it's going to be a sell on rallies, not a buy on dips. All right. If you made money, give me, a clap or a thumbs up. Make me feel good because I raced back from getting my child on the bus, and I counted 2 minutes in order to make sure that we were all prepared for today's trade. So, definitely let me know that you enjoyed today's session. Boris is going to roll into trading gold. I know many of you are.
Indices, Kay. Indices are down 3%. Gold is not a story today, but yes, we're going to trade gold too. But it's definitely going to be Nasdaq today, baby, all the way. Nasdaq is down 3% today. It's going to be where the action is today. So yeah, we're going to do a lot of that stuff.
So I'm going to turn it over to Boris because I also have a meeting at 9. Working moms never stop, right? So you got a glimpse of my life, my everyday life.
Good job, Kay. Good job on the trades.
Boris.
She did an excellent job reacting. Trading. I was actually interviewing a guy who's a good trader yesterday. He said trading is all about planning and reacting. And Kathy just sort of did a perfect example. If you guys, I really recommend actually all you guys, if you have time this weekend, rewatch the first half hour of this session because it's just a classic example of her preparing, her knowing the exact data that's supposed to come out, then the data coming out surprisingly and adjusting herself to that data set within the price action and then taking advantage of the price action.
And also, I didn't let my bias on the leading indicators for non-farm payrolls affect me.
Right.
I mean, yes, we did our homework. We said the data was probably going to be weaker, but knowing that non-farm payrolls could go anywhere and knowing that we should only trade it reactively, I didn't let my bias affect me. I let the data come out and I reacted to data with in the back of my head, knowing the market sentiment, knowing risk off, knowing which ones are stronger, which ones are weaker, and then being able to execute right on that. So it's also important to be adaptable, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and not be stubborn.
Right. And that's like, the most important thing is given what we know about the market, given what the data is, what is the optimal trade within that format? And that's where Kathy went through the weakest, the strongest, the putting them together into a package that had the greatest sense of probability of success, and that definitely showed itself. All right, everybody loves you, Kay. Nisha tells you, know, Kathy, you rock. Very nice. Everybody having a good time, and all the degenerates are going to stay with me. I see that the count is building. The count is building because everybody wants to trade the open. I'm definitely psyched for the open.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I love it.
And you know what? I think on Monday, Boris, we talked about how far the stocks could fall. And obviously, I did not think that was going to happen. But we looked. But what did we look at? We looked at swing highs, swing lows. They're important. We were up here on Monday, and I certainly didn't think it was going to fall so fast. But swing highs, swing lows matter. It's very, very important. Yeah, and that's what you use every day in your trading, right? Significant highs and lows, but on a micro basis.
Yeah, no, for sure. But also, I will tell you this. I mean, if you guys learned anything today, it's that you could spend 5 years investing and have everything wiped out in 2 days, right? I mean, I love investing, but when everybody tells you, oh, the safest thing in the world to do is invest, it's complete nonsense. It's only safe when stocks are going up. It is such a horrible feeling for most of these people right now to be looking at their IRAs and everything else and literally see a quarter of their value wiped out in 2 days. And it could be 50% before we're done, which is why trading is such a great antidote, because we never get to the situation where 50% wiped out. We're always, controlling ourselves to 1%, 2%, 3% drawdown kind of maximums. That's what makes trading, when we do it well, such a positive antidote to just simply sitting passively and watching your money disappear in front of you. It's all, fine and dandy when you buy and hold, but it's really, really not pleasant when it's buy and just dip like we have right now. So hopefully you guys enjoy the trading aspect of it. Hopefully you learn some skills out of it. That's my little rant for today. Okay,
so I will bid adieu, and I will see hopefully all of you for Monday. And not all of you join me on Monday, but what do we do on Mondays? We learn, we prepare, we plan for the trading week ahead, just like we did today for non-farm payrolls, but on a week basis. So I think it's the most important session to be a part of every week. Either you're watching it on demand or you're joining me live, because you saw an example in that in a micro level today for non-farm payrolls. But it's also very, very important to plan, prepare, and get ready to trade for the entire week. So make sure you join us on Monday as well, and join our free community so you don't miss any of these cool events that are happening.
I don't know what's going on. That's not anything that sounds like we could take care of. It's probably something on your.
Boris, didn't you say? Oh, it's the webpage. I was going to say
it's a web page. What I was going to suggest is, number one, first of all, log in, log out as always. Number one, advice of tech support. Number two, make sure you're using Chrome. You got to be using Chrome to make sure. And number three, restart your computer. And then if all those issues are problems, just simply email us and we'll come back to you on that. Okay, why did I lose you? Did you go away?
I'm saying bye. All right, I got a meeting at 9 o'clock.
All right, goodbye. Bye. Okay. Hi, guys. All right. Are we ready to rock and roll? Who's that? Somebody definitely somebody coming back on Monday. Have an awesome weekend. Thanks, guys. Thank you. All right, guys. I have tons of stuff to tell you. We got 35 minutes before the open. So I'm going to try. First of all, let me just start the day by saying every rule that we do, we're going to avoid today. No multiple account trading. We're going to trade one account, and we're going to basically hope that we're not going to kill it. Today is not a day where you want to spread your risk across 50 million accounts, because volatility is so fucking high that you have the absolute possibility of blowing up all of your evaluation accounts, all of your payout accounts, if you start to spread the risk, because literally everything is at least twice as volatile as it was yesterday. Which brings me to point number two. We're not trading large. We're trading everything. Usually we trade 1 point target, 4 point stop in the S&P, 5 point target, 20 point stop in NASDAQ. Bullshit. Double. 2 points, 8 points, 10 points, 40 points. Volatility, all stops targets doubled. Sizes are going to half, actually a third. I'm trading micros all day long today. I'm trading 2 micros as my starting on NAS, 4 micros as my starting S&P, with double the width of our regular trades, because vol is through the roof. There is God, I gotta sneeze just a sec. If I could hate New York City spring anymore, I would. I'm sorry, guys. Just allergies. You're gonna have to, bear with me. It's just inevitable trade-off of living in New York City. So, but the point is, micro contracts, twice as large, half as much. What the fuck was I gonna say? I totally lost my train of thought. God damn it. Fuck me. Hay fever, yeah, just pollen, all sorts of other stuff. Oh, damn it! What do I want to tell you? What else do I want to tell you? Oh, so stay to one account. You blow that account, fine. You've preserved all three other accounts. Which, by the way, brings me to one other thing that I got to do. Hang on a second. Just bear with me a sec. I want to do this. Hang on. I want to put this up for you guys. Bear with me. Deals. What's this? Okay, here it is. Okay. I want to make sure you guys all lock in the Apex accounts right now, because if you are going to be blowing accounts, this is the time to replenish them. And if you are not blowing accounts, but you're preserving them, this is the time to inventory your possibilities. All my accounts, let's go through my accounts before we get to a whole bunch of new stuff. So this is the account. I'm trading my worst accounts today. The one that has the least amount of profit, the one that has just been riding up and down, the 69. The 66s, almost to 52,000. I'm almost 2/3 of the way there. The 65s, pretty similar. The 64s, not so much. I didn't really trade 64s, but still, we're going to keep those accounts to the side. There's absolutely zero fucking reason right now to be trading so much volatility, unless you want to go the other way and you're going to go balls to the wall, have a hunch, bet a bunch. Let me fund these guys in one shot. Want to do that? Be my guest. That's excellent strategy for those of you guys that want to run a lot of risk. But my whole idea here is to teach you how to control risk. And so in a controlled risk environment, we're going to trade one account, tiny ass positions. Each, though, because of the volatility, they're going to essentially result in almost the same type of P&L. And we're going to just try to understand what the price action is. I've traded these things so many times in my life that I know that the surest, easiest way to burn all your money is to get super excited about volatility until it turns on you like the worst girlfriend you ever had, and you wake up without your private parts. Just the point being is that you need to be very, very careful and go in there. If you're going to go balls to the wall risk, know that you're going to either get funded today or you're going to blow all your accounts. That's fine. I'm totally cool with that. It's another great strategy. They're dirt cheap. Go replenish them if you do. It's a super easy way to absolutely hit your risk. But my whole point is I want to teach you good quality trading techniques for the rest of your life, not just for Super Bowl trading days like today. So keep that in mind. All right, you guys with me on all that? So let's go back. We got half an hour. I want to talk to you a little bit about a new thing that I did. So Teresa's saying, today volatility is high, focus on one account. You got it. Yes. If that's what you want to do, if you want to be super, super aggressive, be my guest. You know what I want to do, guys? Hang on. Let me see if I go to a different, shoot. Let me see if I can do it this way. Yeah. And then I can go, oops, add. Oh, why is this not going big? I wanted this to be big. Oh, there it is. Okay. See? Okay, I want to minimize myself, maximize screen. You guys like this layout? Does that work? Does that work for you guys? Is a little bigger better? Okay, you're seeing something new and you're like, what the fuck is this that Boris has in here that he put in? So I know, just to make life interesting, and because there's not enough stuff going on today, I decided, hey, you know how I've been trading Asia, and we created this whole really interesting Asia trading scalping structure, which, by the way, those of you guys who want to trade Asia with me, fully free to you. Come to trade Tuesdays, Wednesdays, starting next week. We're going to take the week after that off because everybody's going to be on vacation. But after that, it's going to be a permanent thing. I'm going to trade Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Asia session, hour and a half, 7:45 to 9, 9:15. I have an MT5 version of this. So if you're a CFD trader, this is yours. It's going to be awesome. It does the exact same thing as TradingView, but it's just for MT5. Anyways, what this is, I want to kind of show you, is I've built this overnight into BKBFF, into version 7. I've updated version 7. So if you want to update BKBFF, version 7 has this, okay? There's just one small caveat before you update. Don't go crazy updating before you update. If you update, you're going to lose for a very short period of time the ability to have these little tables, the counter trend and the trend tables. You're going to lose that ability. The reason you're going to lose that ability is because the code is a little bit fucked up and I got to work on it on the weekend. I will fix it. You'll get those tables back. But if you're okay about losing the tables and you want the full functionality of having this third trading strategy, go ahead and update. It's called the turn strategy. It's inside here. It's called range, actually. I called it range. And it was originally designed exactly for Asia session when we got nothing. We just, we're ranging up and down, up and down. And it's this beautiful, beautiful strategy that buys bottoms, sells tops, right? And you can see me going absolutely crazy here with it earlier today. So the green is that, you're buying the bottom, the red, you're selling the top. The signals are very, very good. It's the same idea. We're using, like if this was normal times, we'd be trading 1-4. But today we're trading small at 2-8. In other words, 2 target, 8 stop on S&P, 10-40 on NASDAQ. Same idea. But what's really cool about it is, it's really designed for slower time in Asia. It creates a whole bunch of super accurate trade possibilities during the slow Asia times when times are normal. But in today, volatility is massive, but it still gives us extra ability to see signals. Obviously, everything is all alertable, right? So it's all going to give us alerts, and we're going to get them. So I'm going to run kind of a little bit of a different structure today than usual. One account only. This account, we're going to beat up this account. It works, it works. It doesn't work, it doesn't work. To explain to you the basic mechanics of the turn strategy, it uses the exact same dynamics that we use in BK Scalper, but in a kind of an interesting fashion. What we're looking for is these green circles tell you that this is the higher highs. This high is higher than the prior high. This high is prior high. When you're building up a big momentum move, right? And when that momentum move is broken by a lower low, so this is a lower low, so it breaks the chain of higher highs by a lower low, and that's your turn signal. So boom, you see how that works? You see how that works? You see how that works? You see how well that works? And conversely, in the same region, you can, by the way, if you want to, modify the sequence of higher highs and lower lows. I've just simply set it at 3. That's the perfect setting. It actually keeps the record for you. So it's telling you there's 6 higher highs in this particular swing. Really, I think really cool little useful price action tool for everybody, right? I make the tools, you guys make the trades. That's my motto for the day. And you could make a whole bunch of stuff with it. But the way the tool is intended to do is to to find those turns, signal you those turns, and then trade those turns. So I hope you guys are digging this. Let me do a little poll. Let me see if everybody likes the turn. Oops, I'm in the wrong one. Hang on a second. Oh, fuck, what is this? Oh shit. Okay, hang on. I gotta switch accounts. Switch accounts. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's do polls. Start poll. Turn. We'll call it BKBFF turn. Just very simple, yes or no. Just give me a yes or no, like it or not. Let's do a simple poll. Let me know what you guys think. So what we're going to do today, which I think could be a lot of fun, is we're going to wait for alerts. And I'm also going to set alerts for gold as well. So whatever alert comes our way, we're going to switch to that chart view. And if that signal completes, we'll trade that signal inside of this one account, starting on micros. And then, if we got to repair them, we'll go to the small minis. All right. So we got 20 minutes to go to the open. You guys ask me any questions. Yeah. Oh, there's a turn. I was going to say, we have a turn signal setting up in NAS and in S&P. As always, the biggest problem for me is to try to run both of them. So I'm always going to commit to one instrument first, And if that instrument shows up, I'm going to trade that trade. And if I get a chance to trade the other trade, I'll trade the other trade. Right now, as I said, I'm trading 40.60 on the ticks. That's 20 points. 10 points, 40 points on target stop. And I'm trading 8.32, 2 points, 8 points on S&P, on MES as my ideas. I'm actually going to add, let's add gold while we have time. MGC, M. We'll add that one. And then we're going to add, I'm going to add the same. It's going to be 10.20. No, 10.40. So $4. So we're going to do the same thing. Although, I don't know, is gold that volatile? Nah, fuck it. Gold, I think we can stay on 5.20. We'll just stay on 5.20. I think gold is okay today. Add 5.20. Okay. 5.20. Okay, save. All right. So if gold pops up, we'll do that. So right now, I got nothing going on over here. No signals. Oh, BK trend scalper red signal. BK, which one is this? NQ trend. So that would be over here. We're in the counter trend. So we'll go to trend. So we'll switch to trend. No signal here. I guess it kind of retraced back out, right? Starting to show. So this is actually fine. We have a trend signal in the S&P again, and a trend signal. Occasionally we're going to get like both at the same time, which is fine. It's one single trade. So this is a trade that's showing up. I'm going to trade 2 micros with a 2040 target, and trade is going to come up here. You guys will be able to watch it. If it shows up, it's going away. 26, 27 seconds, kind of going away. Let's see if it wants to do us right. JC is like saying that he's had a hard luck story with gold. Yeah. You got to join me in Asia, Chris, next week, and I'll give you all the stuff because it's not quite released yet. But how many? I'm actually going to do after this poll. I really want to. Everybody loves the turn. Yeah, turn is going to be awesome. All right, so the trend signal fades because the slope of NAS gets a little bit positive, right? I wanted to set up some alerts on gold, so I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Just wanted to see this. It's a minute and a quarter on the turn signal here. So, and also a turn signal in S&P. So let's see if those come to fruition. We'll take those if they come. I'm gonna go NASDAQ first, S&P second on this one if I could get it again on the trades. See if it's working. 42 seconds left. The selling pressure kind of dissipating a little bit. So I think, okay, this is just my own vibe. Of course, it means nothing, but my vibe is I think we're gonna rip. I think everybody is so short focused, right? Dealers are probably long as fuck because they bought all this inventory. And this is a perfect time to rip it up the shorts' faces because you have like the excuse of positive NFPs. Kay is dubious about the NFPs, but I'm not. So you see, we hold bid. That's actually a very good sign for the longs. The very key point that we kind of held bid is kind of a good sign for the longs. All right, let me. We got 2 minutes before anything shows up. This gives us time to set up the gold signals. So I'm going to go into gold. Let's go to full screen here for a sec. And I'm going to set up all the gold alerts for everybody so you can actually see how easy it is to set up a gold alert. So we're going to do once per bar. I want the greens. We say BK gold. This is the green triangle buy. We're going to create that. This is on a 2-minute chart just to make sure it's correct. Add alert. We're going to go to red triangle. We're going to say BK scalper. This is on the trend basis. Gold. Create. And we're going to create the turn one. Once per bar. This is the 6th one. Shoot, never mind. Sorry. I'll have to do that one. I'll do that one on the 7th. So let's just do first of all the other 2 alerts, the counter trend alerts. BK trend, red scalper, trend signal. All right, now I have to move away. Well, we're going to set up these alerts as time allows us. Got 43 seconds left on all these. Basically, the same story is being repeated everywhere. This is not a clean signal, but this is a clean turn signal. So we're gonna let the turn do its thing. 27, 26 seconds left. I'm gonna trade NAS first, and then we'll trade S&P second. Let me go to S&P. No, S&P is gonna be over here, right? 832 NAS. Okay. So 8 seconds left. If this turn holds, we're in this. I'm going to wait very closely till it gets 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Sell. I'm going to sell NAV. Sell S&P as well. Sorry. Sell S&P as well. So we got both of these positions. It's hard. All right. Both of those got filled. You saw how fast it was. You don't even get a chance to see it on the charts, but you get to see it on the bottom here on the ledger, which is the only way I'm going to be able to show you these charts, because I'm triggering on the micros, and you're seeing the minis on the chart. But both turn trades work like a charm. So great, we did our first turn trade together. I restrained myself from what I was going to say originally. Okay, so back to trying to set up my alerts on gold. Where's my gold? We made 2 winners so far. Let's go back to gold. So I needed to set up counter trend. I want to set up the counter trend alerts, because then once we get all these alerts, it's just going to be super easy for us to switch around. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to alerts. I want to go. No. It's in scalper. We are in. Oh, is this counter? Is this counter scalper? Oh, this is counter. Okay, so now I want to go to trend. Sorry. So I want to go to BK trend. So now we're going to go here. Sorry. Let me hang on a second before I drive everybody crazy. Where's my alerts? Okay, delete this. I don't need this shit. Delete this. Where's gold? Let's look at the edit function. I can't tell. It should be once per bar. Save anyways. Edit once per bar. Save. All right. Whatever. I'm going to assume that that was. Okay. Let's set up these alerts. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out myself what I want. So this is going to be copper green buy once per bar, gold trend. That's exactly how you would set up the alert here. I'm going to do add alert, red, triangle, sell, once per bar, gold trend. All right. So, and then we're going to switch to the turn. We're going to put the gold in here on turn for just 1 second. And we're going to get our gold turn signals here. So add alert. We're going to go to the gold turn signal by super scalper by gold. We'll just call it gold here to identify it. And then add alert. The turn ones are super easy. Just simply, it'll tell you whether it's a red or a green one. Gold. Great. Okay. And now we're all done. So now we can go back to just watching the charts. I want to go, if this is scalper mode, this is going to be counter scalper mode. So we're going to get counter mode. and we'll just watch the charts. Okay, pretty cool, right? JC loves it. Okay. Okay, so hope you guys are vibing all of this stuff. I think the tools are really, really helpful in terms of getting more trade ideas. And I think this kind of layout where we're getting alerts, and then we can just simply switch to the instrument that gives us the alert and the direction may be a lot easier to follow than for us to switch accounts all the time, right? So my recommendation today, as I said, is a day to just trade one account, unless you just want to go balls to the wall and you're like, okay, I think we'll rip 100 points up. I mean, in NAS, and I'm just going to go long NAS on the open as the dealers try to squeeze everybody out and get funded in one trade. You want to do that? Totally legitimate. Great thing about Apex that they will pass you through on that, but that's not a way you're going to be able to get paid out, right? So there's always a difference between getting funded and getting paid out. And I try to teach the techniques to get paid out because we've all been funded 1,000 times. I'm hopefully going to be able to. Hopefully, before I go to Europe, I'll be able to fund the other 2 accounts. Although, given the fact of how much volatility there's next week, we will trade cautiously. But generally, my whole point is that when we get to like 2% days or bigger, like 500 points on NAS, 100 points on the S&P, those type of days. Okay, so gold super scalper turn signal. This is what I love about this. Now we can just go to gold, right? Look how cool this is. Oh shit, gold goes over here. Gold. Sorry, this was NQ. Okay, I just got to learn. So look at this. Now we can fool around with this. 28 seconds on this, right? I am staying. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work for me or not. I'm staying on the shorter volatility for gold because gold is not up 1% or more. It's basically underneath. If it's under 1%, we can use our old techniques. So let's go to my see gold. Let me make sure that I set this up properly. 520, and I want to sell it. What happened here? Wait. What? How did I get stopped out on this? Isn't it fine on MGC? What happened here? Okay, no, it actually went away anyways. The signal went away anyway, so it doesn't matter. Wow, what the hell was that? That was weird. Okay, I will adjust. But anyways, we're gonna go back to S&P here to look for S&P goes over here, NASDAQ goes over here. I'm trying to keep my charts organized here so we can watch both things. So the turns are on here. S&P, NAS, should be S&P over here, NAS on scalper, trend and counter trend to see if we got stuff to go. And weaving in gold is going to take me a little bit of time to get used to. But the cool thing is we're going to get a lot more signals now showing up. And for those of you guys who are like absolute total, momentum degenerates, a way that you could trade the turn signal again. What about talking about NASDAQ? I think what specifically about NASDAQ did you? What am I talking about NASDAQ? I think NASDAQ could possibly reverse a little bit if the dealers want to squeeze higher. Okay, it doesn't mean that I'm super bullish on NASDAQ, but I think kind of the conditions might be right for NAS to pop up. I mean, we can take a look at my point is on NAS, although it obviously having a hard time. I think if we test, here's kind of my supposition. If we test the 18,000 again and it holds, there's every possibility that they could rip it higher as the day progresses, just to stop everybody out on the short side and bring it to 18.5 back to break even, and that would kill every bear out there. we'll see. I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see. In the meantime, we'll obviously trade the price action. So what I was going to say to you guys is we got about 8 minutes before the open. What I was going to say to you guys is, if you really want to be a true degenerate in trading, every one of these dots is a momentum dot. So it's green means up momentum, up momentum, up momentum. If you really want to scalp like every single candle, I mean, this is a 2-minute candle, so it's really, really stupid to scalp it that way. But if you want to, maybe a 5-minute candle, you could just, be a buyer on the green dot, and then a seller on the red dot, and you're going to very likely get some continuity out of that trade, because even if you just simply do something simple as, I'm gonna sell the red dot with a stop and then 1-2 target, you can do that stuff over and over and over again. These dots are momentum dots. I've just generated a turn of momentum signal out of this thing, but you can use it 100 different ways. So I'm just telling you this, that it's very, very useful as a structure. All right, we are chilling and willing, waiting to see what signals pop up our way. We made a couple of turn trades. The gold trade kind of disappeared on us in the very last second, so we moved out of it, and we're just going to be watching the charts. Oh, I know what I want to do. So everybody loves the turn. Although, which bastards, which 9% of you did not say no to the turn? Must be just pure trend traders. They must really hate that. Okay, what I want to do, I want to poll you guys, and please, everybody, answer this one, please, 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 because we really need to know, because this will help us create better tools for you. I trade mostly. Okay, this is the key thing. I know some of you trade both, but the question here is mostly futures. Oops, if I could spell futures. Or CFDs. CFDs is Forex, okay? So CFDs / Forex. I want to know, because it tells us, where you guys are coming from, what kind of tools we can develop for you, whether, we want to stay primarily on TradingView, or do we want some MT5 stuff for you guys? Just all sorts of stuff that we could help you with. So please, please answer. It'd be very, very helpful for us for the future, okay? In the meantime, everybody join. Don't answer in chat. Answer in poll. I just put the poll up. Vote. Just say choose the option, because then we know percentage wise, and it helps us a lot as to how the group is structured. Okay, here's the join link. Does the tool work on Forex? Yeah, it works on Forex too. Yeah. Okay. Oh no signals. I was just like, I got excited here. There's a momentum dot on both. So we're starting to ahead of the market. Market trying to sell off a little bit. We'll see what it wants to do. Oh, everybody getting ready. The degenerate hour is starting to come in. We break the 1,000. Thank you, guys. Welcome everybody from Twitter. Coming over here. I got all the links and I got all the goodies for you to come hang out with us. I am trading one account only today. Ooh, what is that? Super buy turn signal? On which one? ES? What the fuck is a super buy turn signal? That is not there's no super buy turn signal. How did that? What are you talking about? There's no turn here. What the fuck was that? All right, we will again, the turn signals are a little bit beta. I'm gonna have to make sure that they're okay. It doesn't matter. I have it on my chart. I see where they're at. The NFP has already passed by, my friend. The daily dose. You dozed through it, my friend. NFP was at 8:30. We traded that live. Kathy made 3 out of 4 trades. We traded post NFP. I made like 3 out of 3 trades in NASDAQ and S&P. on my new scalping indicator. And now we're just waiting for the market to open 9:30, looking for signals, my friend. We're trading indices, so indices and maybe whatever shows up in gold. Okay, you can watch it on replay if you want to know exactly how I should trade the NFPs. Very good, very good show. Very good show. All right, the Daily Doze. Love your name. Oh, was that on gold? Keith, was that on gold? That's why I fucked up. I wasn't reading it. Oh, yes. Shit. I'm sorry, Keith. You're absolutely right. It was a turn on gold. I wasn't paying attention. That would have been a banger. That was right then and there. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm just it said ES. That's why I fucked it up. Why did it say ES? Let me see the where are my alerts? Gold super turn. Oh, only once. Okay, once per bar. I gotta save this. Sorry, let me edit this out. Once per bar. Okay, so those were fine. Okay. All right. Next one. Oh, we got a turn signal in S&P. Minute 12. Again, this one for sure, small size because it's and it's also see we're starting to really turn on the thing. Okay, so we're gonna trade NAS first, S&P second if these signals hold. That is a 1040 on NAS, 2.8 points, or 832 ticks on NAS, 160 ticks on 160 ticks on NAS, 832 on the ES. Both signals go away, so we got nothing to do. 34 seconds left. We're playing around with a signal, seeing if it holds. Got to hold in order to play. "19 seconds on the clock. They're both fading on us as the urge to buy kind of dies out. Where are we? 9:29, 48 seconds. Jesus, I really don't want to. I don't think I'm going to take these signals regardless. The opening minute of this thing is just a meat grinder. Doesn't matter. It kind of dies out on us anyways. Okay, so opening rotation does dick all as far as turning, and now we start to really turn. Okay, so S&P starts to turn cautiously. 35, 34. $1.30 on the clock, so we are going to wait patiently. This has got to hold. You got to have some belief that they think this is a bottom here. But we're getting signals all across the board here on the positive side. It's actually isn't it cool, guys, how you get the turn and the counter trend sort of showing you these things, and it's kind of helpful. On both sides. All right, so we're going to go NASDAQ first. And again, I'm going to see if I can see if I can show you a little bit more here on the positions. You're going to see the positions because I'm not going to be able to show you on the charts. 33, 34, 32, 31. Let's hopefully the buyers can hold these levels. But if they don't, then there's no signal. Remember, no signal, no trade. You guys want my 5 governing rules of success slide? Once this trade is done, or we do this trade, okay, I'm focusing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Does this hold? It holds. What the fuck is this? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I'm sorry. Shit. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's do MNQ buy. Damn it. Sorry, I hit the wrong one. All right, so MNQ, we took the MNQ. I'm sorry, I took I had the gold tab over here. It should be like absolutely in my last place. Still trying to get my workplace in these micros all organized. But anyways, the you see how fast that was? That actually worked for us on NAS. But honestly, this was not a great turn signal. This would not have worked. So I want to talk to you about, like, what is the strategy if I get stopped on turn signal, right? Because what is the repair strategy? I think conventional assumption would be, well, wait for the next turn signal and then trade that. Yeah, you could do that, but a really much better strategy, because I'm gonna run you through a chart and show you, is actually to wait for the next momentum dot signal and then use the momentum dot as your entry, because that is almost always going to resolve you positively. All right, we got no more signals on this. The NASDAQ trade got done, which was nice. You guys saw that. Let's go. Let me show you. I want to see a failed. All of these are actually successful turns. Let me see a failed turn. Okay, let's assume this is a failed turn. Because this is not. Okay, if you assume this is a failed turn, this actually would work, but let's assume it's a failed turn. I get it, because you're long here at 36 and it goes all the way up to 62. So you would have actually made money, no problem. But okay, fine. Suppose it failed. Where would be my next entry? The next entry, yes, would be on the next turn. But let me see if I could find you a failed example. Shit, I can't find any failed turn example. Okay, let's imagine this one. Okay, see this one? Let's say this is a failed turn. You know, I get long here, it gets stopped out, right? Well, the natural assumption is to go to the next turn, but you could also go on the next dot signal, which is 77, right? It only goes 10 against you, and then boom, right over here, totally resolves. So the next green dot, which is in the direction of the turn, that could be your repair trade. That's sort of what I've been doing. Works like a charm, you know, as far as repair trades. You guys vibing me on that? So that's what's going on here. We have a possible trend sell in NAS, excuse me, in S&P, but that goes away, so no signal there. Keith says he loves it. Keith loves it. The indicator I'm referring to is the updated 7 version of the BKBFF scalper, because, you know, too much is never enough for me. I created a whole new range category. We have a trend category, counter trend category, range category now in scalper, and of course the trend shift time of day, which, by the way, has been a great trade. I don't even get a chance to talk to you about the trend shift trade for those of you guys who are swing traders. And on Monday, when things are a little calmer, we'll take a really long, deep look at the trend shift trade, which is like 1 or 2 trades a day for 100 points on that trade. Boom, you hit it, you win it. It does a great job at finding turns of the day, and I'll explain it in much more deeper detail then. But, you know, too much. Oh, we got a signal. Sell S&P. Sell. Oh, shit, I'm just so not focused, guys. I'm sorry. You see? Oh, look, see how fast that was. You see how fast that was? Okay. Okay. So what did I do there? I hit the buy button, immediately got out, hit the sell button, got myself done. Given the amount of fuck ups I have done with you guys today, the very fact that I'm up a couple $100 is, I consider to be a miracle of nature, right? Because clearly I can't talk and chew at the same time. And of course, my trades require a lot of focus, right? Which I don't have. So yeah, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong buttons here. And again, it's because, you know, when we're doing the 4 accounts and everything is all set up and everything is just nice and tidy, and I have every single thing lined up, it's very, very easy. When I'm trying to do this one account and I have multiple tabs open and I'm kind of fucking around with all these tabs, it gets a little hairy. But, you know, but I'll try to figure out what to do. I think actually, the more I'm thinking about this, I know Miguel does this. I have like my DOMs, like here, I'll show this to you. I've got nothing else going on here. So let's see if you guys see this. So I have my DOMs like this with tabs. And I think maybe the right thing would be to like do 4 DOMs, like half a DOM, half a DOM, half a DOM per instrument, right? So I don't have to go through tabs, and I just know which instrument is where. So I'm not buying gold when I want to buy MES. I'm not buying, NASDAQ when I want to buy gold. Might be a better layout. I'm going to try to fool around with that layout on Monday, but I'll let you guys know. Tom, the version is uploaded right now. If you were to go up there and update it, but I said the updated version you have will lose the ability to be able to put up the counter trend mode and the trend mode right now. Those tables will not display for you. So you'll still get, you can still configure the charts and it will give you all the signals, but the tables themselves are not displaying because the code is all fucked up. So I have to redo the code on the tables for 7. So your choice is give up the turn for now. Wait for me to really clean up the code, make sure the tables are all working, or just forget about the tables. I don't give a shit and get the code functionality right now. Okay. There's always a trade-off in life, right? Oh, gold super turn buy signal. Let's go to gold. Where's my gold? Okay, gold, $1.15 on the clock. We got a buy signal. Now I got to figure out what the fuck is going on with this. It's a 520. Oh, did I screw this up? Hang on, let me. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, God damn it. I was like, why am I getting stopped out? Because I had 2-tick stop. It's a 2-tick stop. Wonderful. All right. So now I have it correctly. I had a 5-tick target, 2-tick stop. And I'm like, how come I'm getting stopped out the moment I hit the buy button? Gee. Okay, 42 seconds on this. We're going to trade gold. Micro level again. I'm going to trade like two units of this. 2 units of gold. 5 up, 20 down on a turn basis. Let's see if the turn gives us. The turn actually has given us a lot of signals. Like I love having turn on live because we're getting like literally twice as many quality signals as we would on just pure trend plays and scalper plays because they're much more filtered. 8-9 seconds. Turn is holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're in trade. Look how fast that was. Boom, boom, boom. That was done. So that was done. Okay. Boom, boom. See, it's the coil that springs, right into the action. So, we took that, we took it out. If you want to see what that trade was, I can go to MGC and let me just go to settings, show you execution labels. What do we do here? We bought 94.1, 94.6. Boom, boom. Like super fast, right? You see that? You see that on the charts, 94.1, 94.6. It was like super fast on the chart. But obviously that's what we do. Okay. Could have done more. We probably could go dollar. I think really honestly it is volatile enough. We could trade $4 on this as a structure. Okay, so this is 5. So I'm gonna go back to S&P. I kind of like the way we're doing this, where it's just one account. I'm not shifting focus on accounts with you guys, and the labels are just driving the signals. Like, I don't mind banging this account with you guys in live and just, trading it there because, in live trading for to show you the methodology. It's your job then afterwards to take those tools and make the trades with them to go to target, just like I do. Right. I think you guys prefer this. Let me know if you guys like this whole approach where I'm just sticking to one account and all the trades are visible in the ledger. And I'm obviously, talking about what trade I'm going to be taking beforehand. So you guys know what I'm doing and getting ready. No, don't trade. Should you be shorting indices? No, music makes. Hang out with us, my friend. As a matter of fact, Music Mix, why don't you come join our community, get my free course, and understand exactly how we trade, okay? Because that will answer your question of, like, we're going to make 1,000 trades. There's no such thing as being short or long. We're going to trade the price action. So Peter says, yes, he likes the whole idea of just basically focused on one account and me narrating the trades. I like that too. So we get the alerts, we get the trades get narrated, and we just bang it on one account, and we switch the charts so you can see on the charts exactly what we're talking about. I think that's probably the right way of doing it, right? Let me know. And guys, please vote in my poll. I need to know how many of you guys are trading futures and CFDs. It's very interesting. More of you are still trading CFDs, Forex, and I really, this is why Asia is going to be your time frame. So the only people who are going to get a little bit upset with me is the Europeans, because it's very late. But you can watch the Asia on replay. I am going to create everything I can in terms of execution tools, indicators, structures on MT5. So everything you see on TradingView here, you're going to get the same benefit on MT5, and it's actually better. Like, the thing about MT5, of course, as some of you guys who've already been with me in Asia saw, I can do it so I don't have to worry about personally waiting for the last second. I press the button and it will automatically go into trades. I actually traded, I trade AMP futures, and I did that with my AMP futures account yesterday, and it was amazing. It was super great to just like press the button, walk away, go get a cup of coffee, and it goes into the trade right on the candle close exactly when it wants to, and you come back, boom, P&L. It's really great. Music mix, my friend. Are you in LA, my friend? Are you on the West Coast? Hello, LA. Hello, LA. Yeah, it's great for West Coast people. It's a lot of fun. Okay, signal. ES super turn. So we're gonna go. Super turn buy signal. So ES super scalper. No. Why is there a turn? This is not a turn. What am I? Is it gold? Is this the miss? No. What is this? Where's the turn here? No. I don't know why it's giving me that signal. I need to figure out. I think I that ES signal is misconfigured. So I will reconfigure my signals a little bit later. It is 9:45 and we're dicking around. Like, markets are doing nothing. So we will just stay patient. Remember, the first half hour, they always like to kind of lull us into complacency and then rip our throats out in the next half hour. So we'll hang through the 10 o'clock hour. Guys want to see what Twitter is saying? Let's see what Twitter is saying about everything in the world. Blah, 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 blah. Tweet deck. We're going to be very meta. For those of you who are streaming Twitter, we're going to be reading Twitter on streaming Twitter. So very meta. Okay. Trump's new tariffs are into trade tweak. They're the first move in a full spectrum reset. 9.2 trillion debts matures in 2025. Inflation lingers. Alliances are shifting. Yeah, we're losing all of our alliances. That's what's shifting. I know. Austin is saying it's the first NFP where the market just did not even fucking move. Because who did I tell you? Did I not tell you guys NFP does not matter? Come on. Did I not say, like, when Kay went away and she was like, I told you it did not matter. I mean, it mattered for FX. I'm glad she did it for FX. But I knew for our market, couldn't give a shit. I was totally right about that. All right, James Bruce is doing well. Good job. What are we doing here? Like, this is, I don't know if you guys were following. I was following this story all of the winter last year. This is where I really got the idea. I thought the market was very, very vulnerable. Buffett, for all his bullshit about, I just buy and I hold forever, is one of the reason why he's so good. He's one of the greatest market timers ever. The guy is super smart at figuring out when shit is beyond overbought. And he has been building his cash pile for the last year and a half. He's just been dumping everything he could that he doesn't consider to be even modestly valuable. So now he's going to sit here. And then when we get down to like 5,000 S&P, maybe 4,700, he's going to pull up the truck. And that is how the man makes money. So don't ever believe the bullshit. there's so much bullshit in this business, but he is a great market timer. So one of the reasons why I was very confident that we were going to be very vulnerable on the market declines was precisely because Buffett was building his cash. This is his cash hoard. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I mean, that is not a man who fools around, right? He understands exactly. Oh, do we have? We have a turn signal in S&P. No, is that gold? Gold. Is that gold? No, S&P. Let's go S&P. Buy. How much time do I have? 5 seconds left. 2, 1. Buy. Shit, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry, guys. Fuck me. I'm so sorry. That was gold. I hit the wrong button again. I'm so sorry. And now I'm late. And remember, the number one rule with me is if you miss the trade is gone. I'm not chasing it. The trade was there. The trade was right then and there. I would have totally banked us for money. I just wasn't paying attention. Sorry about that. Okay. Hopefully you guys banked on that. As I said, it's hard for me to talk and chew at the same time. And again, it's the fucking tabs. I'm going to reset this so that I know exactly 1 DOM per instrument, so I don't hit the wrong instrument. That's the problem. Okay, sorry about that. All right. Anyways, back to our casual Twitter readings since we don't have any more signals. What do we got here? Good chance we're going to a recession. That's very conventional wisdom. Everybody said that. Everybody's hot takes seem to be very much the same. What's Poly Markets showing? U.S. recession 56% chance. We'll see. That's a 50-50 chance. Okay, let's see the headlines just to see what the headlines are. So, nothing much. Okay, I got an alert. What's the alert? Gold, red triangle, sell. Scalper, red triangle, sell. Where's my gold? No, it's over here. I think it's gold over here. Not a legit signal. It was a yellow signal. Okay, no problem. No problem. We're going to go back to S&P. We're going to go back to S&P over here. No signals. All right, we'll watch the charts. It's starting to get close to the 10 o'clock hour. Let's see if they want to rip it. I think they're going to rip it up, guys. I think I think they're gonna take it hard up. And by the way, if you want to fool around, and because this is an account that we can definitely fool around in because it's it's a bang away account. As I said to you, we can use the turn indicator or the turn component of the indicator as a momentum trade as well. Because remember, these dots are momentum dots. That's what they are. So if I get a green momentum dot, like right now in the S&P, you can make an intelligent bet that we're going to start ripping higher and follow that trade. So far, I don't have a green dot, so it's a moot point. But let's watch it. Let's see. Is this? It's the question is this the bottom of the? Is this the kind of do we bottom out here at the 730, 830, or is this just a tepid little bounce and we're going to start breaking back down? I think, and again, my opinion is as good as yours because it really doesn't matter. I don't trade my opinions, but it feels to me like there was so much negative sentiment, and the news was just completely counter, like really, really bullish news on employment. So like Trump could make this whole argument like, listen, you stupid assholes, I told you this is going to be great for U.S. investment. I told you we're going to get confidence in U.S. Nobody gives a shit about tariffs. They're not going to have an impact. And the market could, could begin. What is this counter trend? Scalper green. Where's my counter trend? Over here. In here. Am I getting a counter trend move? Let's see. Yeah, counter trend in S&P. So a very similar idea. momentum change and counter trend. So let's look at see. All of this is just simply a narrative setup for a short covering move. If we can get just any kind of buy momentum going, but it's an open question, right? This seems to be like a very balanced level between buyers and sellers. Let's do this on full screen so you guys can actually see this. 1 minute left on the clock. So this looks like a relatively reasonable signal. Remember, I'm trading this 228. I'm trading it twice as wide because of the volatility of the day today. We'll see if that strategy proves me right. Look at this moves. Look at this moves. I told you, starting to build it. 39 seconds on the clock. Let's see if they want to hold the move. 87. What's the hardest part of doing the BK scalper trades? Actually waiting for the candle to close, right? That is the hardest part. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're in at 83.50. That's going to be an 85.50 target. So we'll see if that takes us, lifts us up there. And obviously we're giving ourselves 8 points of retrace mode. So this has to really fail to take me out. Wait, what happened here? Oh, I guess it took me out. Yeah, that was a big vol. What was that? 82 to 75. Yep, took me out. A lot of volatility and took me out. Okay, we got a turn signal in Super Scalper turn signal. Which way? Oh, negative way. Wow, interesting. Okay, selling off. All right. We'll trade S&P to the downside now. I mean, trade Nasdaq to the downside. Minute left on the clock. Let me just come back here. Let's see if there's anything else going on here. No, that was the rally, and it got squashed, right? So now we have a turn signal to the downside in Nasdaq. $37 seconds left. $24.23. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that was it. You press it, you fill it. So that worked very nicely. So clearly the upside thesis still got a little bit of work to do. Downside thesis working pretty well. That was pretty clean trade. That was like 40 ticks. Nice move. Nice clean move here. And now we're coming back. So I had this thought that, we do like maybe one more last flush down and then they kind of rebuild. We'll see. Looks like the market is just kind of really, really taking its time both ways. Thank you for voting, guys, on the future CFD. Please vote more. I'd love to see as many votes as possible. I need to know what you guys trade most of. I'm actually super interested in the fact that you guys, 55% of you trade CFDs. So obviously, as I said, Asia session will be very much for you. And we'll be talking about tools and structures and everything else we can do for you on the CFD front. And in the meantime, also, all my friends over here, go out there, get some Apex accounts. My friends at Apex are going to make it very easy. It's actually, it's been really, it's been great for me to run the accounts this month. Very, very smooth. I have not had one single reset. No, maybe I had one. I'm lying. I had one reset. Okay, I did. Oh, that's going to be. This is the truth to tell part of the show. The last poll of the day is let's see who's lying. Let's see who's not lying. We're gonna say I'm gonna do how many resets have you had? Oh, look at this big turn. What I tell you? I told you this really had the signature of like let's just the last flush of the shorts. Okay, let's see if this is really good. But now we're gonna go second level on S&P, try to repair that trade and see if that works. Give us a shot here. So I'm gonna focus on the S&P now. And oh wait, what's going on over here? I need to buy 32, 8, 32, save. Okay. 8 by 32. All right, 52 seconds. I'm focused on the S&P. Hopefully, the second counter trend trade, if it holds, the candle's got to hold. So far, we're getting a big ass retrace. 40 seconds left. This thing is very, very much on thin ice right now. "24 seconds on the clock, and we gave up the signal. We gave up the signal. Okay. Got to stay patient. Wait for the next signal to pop up. Unless they really rallied in the last minute. Nope. No trade, no fade. Okay. Got to stay patient on this. So counter trend, scalper green, triangle buy. No trades, no trades. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. This I forgot. I got distracted. Okay, here's the last poll of the day. Thank you very much, everybody, for voting. I'm gonna end the poll over here. Last poll of the day. Truth or dare, baby. Truth or dare. Okay, this is the poll. I have had to reset this month. 1 to 5, 5 to 10, more than 10 resets. All right, let's see who's going to be truly honest in this poll. This is a poll about how many resets did you guys have this month already. A reset, for those of you who don't trade prop, is when you blow up the account, and instead of starting a new account, you could just do a small fee and you reset the account at its starting phase and keep trading it. The degenerate trader's favorite little tool. So let's see. Answer those questions. Be honest. I actually had only one this month, precisely because I really created that very, very good, separation strategy, account separation strategy, which really, really works well. Actually, you know what? So still no signals. Obviously a little bit quiet, which is not unusual for NFP Friday. Let me see if I can find. I'm going to try to find that slide I showed everybody yesterday, which is my rules for the fuck is this? No, sorry, wrong slide. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna worry about this. Okay, I can't find that slide. I will. We'll stay on trades. Trying to find what where I made that. I think I can actually download it. We got a little time. It's only April 10th. Do I mean the last 30? Yeah, I mean like in the last 30 days, right? Yeah, like in March. I mean, how did March go for you? That's basically what I'm saying. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. I know where it is. My trusty friend. By the way, how many of you guys are using AI? Oh, this is the one I want. No signal, no trade, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, I know why. I know why I didn't have it in slides, because it was a presentation. Let's do the presentation. You guys want to do the presentation? Hang on. Do you guys seeing it? Let me see if I can show it to you. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this presentation. Let me see if there's any signals. Nothing else going on. Kind of quiet. All right. Let's do this little. This is like a little presentation, and it's in. I'm going to put this into our room over the weekend, so you guys can actually do it. But basically, the idea is no signal, no trade. These are the rules that I followed this month that absolutely, really, really made a huge difference. Which is no signal. You see me. If I don't have a signal, I'm not trading. Right. The second rule of that is enter on the close of candle only. The third rule, never, ever, you never see me move my stops or targets. You never see me fuck around with my trades, right? And then account management, which is trade one instrument per one strategy per account. This is in normal days. Today, we're just letting everything go in one account. Never let bad trades pollute your good ones. That's really, really good idea. And today, we're definitely doing smaller is better. So all of those kind of rules are very, very cool. What do I have? Counter trend. Counter trend starting to percolate, trying to come back up on the counter trend basis. This is the one I need to try to repair. So we're going to focus on this one. See if this one gives me a signal. Minute to go. If this thing actually breaches the moving average and comes back up, we might have a trade here. But wow, holy cow, did the volatility die down? Like, what the fuck happened, right? Jesus. No go, man. We just that fit 250. They want that 250 again. Not really turning around. It's okay. Got to stay patient. Maybe a couple more minutes. But, the sellers are puking everything into the market. There seems to be a lot of bids that are absorbing it. It's clearly, we're seeing selling, but not a lot of price movement to the downside, which is indicative of people buying on the bid. But we'll see. Everything changes. Powell speaks in 10 minutes. You're right. Hey, music mix. When you show me how to make money, I'll be happy to follow your advice. In the meantime, either join our group or get the fuck out of my chat with your bullshit, okay? NQ trend scalp a red triangle. NQ. Okay. Sell signal in the S&P. I mean, in NASDAQ. So let's focus on that since I can't, nothing resolvable on the S&P. So we will do this one last one. $1.20 on the clock. Let's see what happens there. Dr. D, you probably got you don't have the range selected in your thing. You need to select the range in the if you want to get these scalpers, you got to go in here, select range. Once you select range, the dots will show up. Okay, they don't need to do anything else on the structure. All right, 38 seconds left. Still sell signal still in place, but kind of very tepid here. Let's see. Okay, 23 seconds left, 22 seconds left. $11, $10. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. Sell market. All right. In boom, boom, bim, bim. Thank you, ma'am. My favorite kind of trade. 10 seconds, $50, done. Obviously, small sizes because again, I am practicing what I. If you have your own account, if you have payout accounts, if you have any accounts where risk actually fucking matters, this is what you should be doing. Even though it's so tempting to go large, like you could go 10 large on NASDAQ and just make. I could have made like $2,000 on that trade, right? It's so much fun. I understand that, and I certainly appreciate the impulse. But you can't take that. Once you get in that behavior, it will hurt you down the road when you're trading real money. So I'm trying to just kind of trade this with you. Even though these are evals, and I could have pressed them today. I could have, I started 50 and I'm at 286, $300. I could have been up to $3,000 on size. Doesn't matter. I would have blown the account. I mean, I could have blown 2 accounts in the time that we traded today and funded 1, which is fine. That's a great strategy if all you're trying to do is just fund the account. But it's not the strategy if you want to get paid out in real life and in props. So I'm just trying to. That's why I know I'm trying to justify my tiny ass little trades, but hopefully you understand why. So you can see it again. Anyways, guys, we did about 2 hours. All despite everything you see, like even trading small, this account, we did not beat it up. It's up. We started at 50. It's at almost 53 on tiny little trades, 2 micros, 4 micros, and we still haven't resolved the fucking S&P. Because if the S&P comes in and gives me a resolution, that's going to be a 350, 360 value on. It's going to be actually 400 because I'll be doing two minis. So there's lots of good things still to come. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for everything. Let me do one last thing before we all go. So we didn't. The truth or dare. Let's take a look at the poll. It's actually, this is pretty honest. 1 to 5, you guys. 1 to 5 was the biggest. There's a couple of real degenerates who had like 10 resets, so it's pretty good. I mean, the whole point of us trading is to minimize the resets, right? That's what we're trying to do. Okay, here's the last final link to the join group, and here's my friends at Apex. Go out there, go get some accounts, please. Okay, you make sure you use our code so you can get a discount, a really big discount. And I will see everybody Monday. Great week. I mean, we had a very good week across the board. Again, let's review our accounts. Every account moving towards target. 66 almost at 52, 65 at 16, 64 at 12.95, and the one that we're beating up, the 69, the little, what was it? Who's it? Wayne used to always say the red-haired stepchild. It's the hair stepchild of the accounts. Still okay. We're still floating above, and we made money today. So, all's good. All's well that ends well. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. The new turn indicator has been awesome. Actually, the turn indicator has been money, right? We really the scalper is the one that clipped us out today. But enjoy it. I'm going to work on getting that code a little bit better, and hopefully they'll all be good. Any problems? Come into the room, chat at me, and I'll try to solve it. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you guys on Monday, and don't forget Asia trade next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, enjoy, guys. Bye bye.